Hello, YouTube. This is Piss Moan, and I think this is going to be a pretty poor review. Just going to preface it that we're doing a Ghost in the Shell review.
This implies any of our reviews are any good. So.
It's got a fair point. They're all garbage. This one is exceptionally poor, though. We're reviewing both the 1996 Ghost in the Shell film and the 2017 Ghost in the Shell live-action film. And we're probably going to take an unpopular stance here, but I thought they were both pretty poor.
Mm-hmm.
And very much contrary to the general consensus, I liked the new one better than the original.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not saying that the second one was better. Well, I don't... it wasn't good in the new one, but I enjoyed it more than I enjoyed the first one. I wouldn't recommend you see either, honestly. I can't give either of them a recommendation.
I mean, they left almost zero impact on me. I mean, I barely remember either of them.
So we're sitting here like, how do we got to be careful about spoilers? Like, can you even spoil it? Like, I honestly was going to sit down and talk about it when the review, because I can't remember, and I was going to have to talk through it to remember.
What's the spoilers?
So, honestly, I give them both. They're like both 5 out of 10s to me.
If you're a philosophy major with a lot of time in your hand and you like anime, go ahead and watch Ghost in the Shell.
If you're ready for it to be extremely philosophical and like just ham-handed, like we're metaphorical and we're deep, and you really need to think about this show. And
I thought I was heavy-handed and metaphorical, and this just kind of put me to shame. Because
so much symbolism.
I didn't care.
Yeah. So many pauses and stares and pans. And but admittedly, everything they did wrong with that, they did with a freaking baseball bat in the next one.
Oh, God.
They said Ghost and Shell so many times.
Yeah, because I was trying to think, did they ever say Ghost
I don't think so.
In the first one?
In the second one, they're just beating every bat with the symbolism and the metaphors. And
every 2 seconds, they're using the word ghost again. Roll credits.
It's just a shell. It's your shell. And a shell.
And literal whitewashing in the beginning. That was fun.
Yeah, literal. I don't know if they solve the complaints about whitewashing. What we think about them. Literal whitewashing. Just whitewash the girl. We're going to whitewash her with a bucket of white paint.
Oh, man.
I honestly, I got a kick out of that. I don't know if they intentionally did that as a flip off to the community.
Well, I think
or
that's
what.
in the original, so I don't even remember.
There were some parts where they were so ham-handed, we have to stay faithful to the original, and then they just go way off the track and completely change the overall plot.
I mean, I'd like to say there are bits and pieces of a good movie in the live-action version, but none of them are Ghost in the Shell. So
yes, that's why I liked the second one better. There was all these bits and pieces of good movie in there. I can see a good movie in the 2017 version. I just did not enjoy the 1996, and honestly, it left so little of an impression on me. I really had to work to remember what the plot was and what the ending was and who won and who didn't and how it worked out. I remember her ripping her... Let's transition to spoilers.
Yeah, whatever.
Unless you have anything more to add.
Other than for about a half hour.
Yeah, about both of them.
So, the spoilers. Who was the bad guy?
So in the first one, the bad guy... Well, okay, so let's go to the second one, because I can remember how that one ended. The bad guy was the businessman, which I felt was such a way to...
It's such the American frickin'...
Yeah. If you wanted to see how they American or whitewashed Ghost in the Shell, it was by just taking the deep plot of Ghost in the Shell, which I don't remember, and just sticking... big business bad.
Yeah, it's your typical, as they say in Rush Hour, behind every crime is a rich white man in a business suit.
Yeah, that was the plot, and that was, I felt like, the weakest part of it. That and some of the stupid freaking fight scenes. I could not control myself when she freaking spun around on that pole. identical
God.
to Neo.
Man.
I lost it.
I was like, it
was like-
the Matrix.
It was like a serious fight scene, but man, it was so ham-handed, straight from.
Well, and the fight in the water made absolutely no sense in the new one.
Yeah, it was only there to copy the original. Like
Yep.
that's where there were so many parts where they ham-handedly forced in direct pull-ins from the original where they didn't make sense. The worst part, though, bar none, of the 2017 was that scene where she connected with her biological mother. That was so piss poorly done. Oh, and I deleted my file.
Because I was thinking, in this interaction somewhere could be a good story. They could write it well. It could be something I'd watch and probably get emotionally invested in. But we counted how many seconds they spent together.
No, it was how many words she spoke.
Words? It was less than 100.
It was like 27. It was absurdly low.
And you remind me of my daughter. Bull!
Like,
you and your daughter never spoke.
They had this emotional connection, had clearly established that it was her daughter. They didn't speak. She literally didn't speak. She just talked to her, or at her, and then decided that it was her daughter. It was the most preposterous.
Yeah. Her character contributed nothing to the conversation.
It was screenwriting that was of the caliber to be seen in a current Transformers movie. It was so poor. It was so poorly written. It was offensive how poorly that was written. So let's hop back to the first one. In the second one, in the 2017, the plot was that this big bad corporation was stealing people and sticking them into
robots,
and they were assets. And her brother, or not her brother, her boyfriend or best friend was he was the bad guy up until the end. And he was a bad guy. I mean, he was a bad guy. This businessman was just worse.
I
hope they can't hear my daughter unhappily making noises. But in the original, I can't remember who the bad guy was because there was it was a cybertronic entity. There was no other person like her. It was literally a program that had become sentient.
And in the end, they became one and were going off to do.
Yeah, I can't remember if
who was she fighting at the end? Sticking somebody in a lolly body just for the hell of it.
Yeah, yeah. I can't remember because who was she fighting in the robot?
Automation, I believe.
I can't remember. I can't remember why she was fighting the robot.
And
it's completely overwritten by
the real problem is we don't care enough to go back and find out.
There was so little value I felt in the original. The ham-handed metaphors are not as subtle. I mean, maybe I think part of the problem is in 1996. This was, I think, before the Matrix.
Yes, this is what everyone took. This is where a lot of the modern sci-fi body horror stuff comes from.
It just wasn't nearly as witty or deep as it. Maybe it was at the time, but it does not feel witty or impressive or super intelligent anymore.
Maybe if I had a notebook and sat around analyzing for hours, but I just don't care.
Yeah, it was not riveting. It was not interesting. The action scenes weren't impressive. And the idea that you can somehow exert more force by ripping your arms off is annoying. Almost as annoying as running faster than lightning or electricity.
Running faster than electricity and outrunning bullets too.
Yeah. I'm embarrassed to say just how little of an impression the original made on us. I literally can't remember why she was even fighting the robot. I think it was automated and trying to kill the brain. But why? I don't remember. I think the brain may have been in it. I think the robot may have been the sentience, but I'm not sure.
And well, the new one, they also had they made the doctor the sympathetic character, and then they kill her off.
Yeah, because that wasn't coming.
I mean, there were no likable characters. I don't know. I kind of liked Bateau.
Yeah, Bateau in both of them was, I thought, well done. He was what stole the show for both of them.
Yeah, I would say so.
The rest are completely uninspired. And the
mullet guy.
In the I don't know, the token like Super Sensei in Ghost in the Shell 2017, I thought was so stereotypical and overdone that it just, oh, surprise, surprise, the wise old man bests the evil businessman. Oh, who'da thunk? He got the better of him in the end. I didn't see that coming.
Whatever. I don't even want to put any more.
I can't even give any more into this. It's just, I literally can't remember the ending to it. It's embarrassing.
The ending to the anime was she bonds with the robot thing.
Yeah.
They take her head off and go put it on the tiny little girl body, and then she walks out soliloquizing somewhere.
Yeah.
And then leaves.
And now she's a little girl for some reason.
Well, because there's always got to be a little girl, apparently.
It was still a better ending than 2017. Which is sad.
God, I don't even... That one I don't remember.
She beats the robot. They capture the bad business guy. Good guys win. End of story.
That's it?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so I do remember it.
It was just bad. Oh, they were both so poor. I hate pissing on Ghost in the Shell, which is a cult classic favorite. Goes down in history as one of the best ever. I'm worried that's what Neo Genesis Evangelion is going to be for me. You like it though, so maybe
it took a while, but we'll have to review that at some point too, because I have lots of complaints about how I can't talk about it. You have to watch it.
I think that's all we've got. We don't recommend either of them. We don't enjoy either of them. These are. I can't even, if Ghost in the Shell is on TV, watch it. I don't know. Is it really worth your time to even watch it?
Switch to a sitcom.
Yeah, I really struggle to recommend you watch this over anything else that's in your library of to-do list. Either of them.
Yeah, don't go out of your way.
Hey, I really want to see Ghost in the Shell. Watch The Matrix instead. It's sad to say, but just watch The Matrix instead. And don't watch the second and third one.
I actually like the second one.
Me too. I love the second one. It's my favorite.
Okay, good. I'm not alone.
We should do a Matrix review.
We should.
I love the second one. Third one really bad.
Well, that's because it goes... That jumps the shark, but the second one's fun.
I don't know. The second one jumps the shark pretty hard, too.
See, it gets freaking superpowers in the real world. That's when it's all over.
Yeah.
But...
yeah.
It's some of my favorite fight scenes.
Yeah, man. There were so many good ones, and they hold up. Oh, man. See, anyway, it isn't a Piss Moan review if we don't get sidetracked into some other film review.
Yeah, we might get to this someday. We might not.
Hold us to it. You let us know in the comments if we forget. And just remind us, hey, you said you were going to review Matrix. Oh, shit, yeah, we were.
I'm also going to try
and please let us know in the comments how wrong we are about these reviews and tell us why. And let us know what the ending actually was so that we actually remember, because we're not going to look it up.
If you want to send us your 20-page report on why Ghost in the Shell is amazing,
we won't read it.
I will read it. Screw him. I'll read it. I'll try and figure it out.
Actually, I probably will. Yeah.
Feel free to tell me why it's good, and feel free for me to tell you why it's...
We should go full clickbait and just title this Ghost in the Shell Sucks.
That would be fun.
And that we will get hate, and it would be great. And if they get to this part, they'll be like, oh, you jerks, you did this on purpose. And we'll be like, yes, we did. And you already wrote your report because you started, and you saw, and you started writing.
That's the
hate was already pouring.
That's the game facts. That's the game facts method of grabbing hits.
Yes. Like that.
So this sucks. Well, let me tell you why you're wrong.
We saw this coming. It's our goal all along.
So yeah, there you have it.
This game sucks.